Hello, everybody. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Let us continue where we left off. The 13th August, 10:41 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 3. I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin. Ray. You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone. No, that's not it at all. I was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hope to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out. It's been a while since I played. So I kinda feel shaky on my voice. Before the trial started, do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind that my innocence, that you'd stand by me to the last? I remember. And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato. I deserve it. No, in fact, throw me to the floor. No, that's too good for me as well. Drag me through the city streets. Oh, wild. She's secretly into it. I'm no better, you know. Oh. Even though in my heart I knew that you pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back, there was just a brief moment when, in my mind, I doubted you. Susato, I'm sorry. After I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be on your side, I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer. Oh, no. I think this situation has taught you both a valuable lesson. Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task. Yes, Father. That fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see more clearly now, so... Ray? Yes? Can you find it in your heart to forgive me? Oh, Susato. You know, I'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer. You'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now. Oh, Ray. Alright, can we go back into trial? What are we talking about out here? What are we doing? We're waiting for something, if I remember. I was so scared, you know, when it happened. I don't know what was going on. The Englishwoman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. You know, it was you who stole the poison? Well now, whatever do you mean? And then a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet. Before collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back. It all happened right before my eyes. And you were the only people in the hut at the time. That's right, just Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could possibly have been stabbed like that. I mean, I have a pretty good idea. A great mystery indeed. No, it's not really a mystery. Still can't believe it happened. That's why I couldn't bring myself to speak up. It will be alright. However it happened and whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything you said you saw is true. Spoken like a true Mikotopa. Now, I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have our facts in order. Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now. The trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it. Oh, I see. Yes, without this chemical reagent, it's impossible to detect the toxins. Chemical reagent? I sent a colleague of mine with some earlier to deliver to the police headquarters. I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case. Ooh, are we gonna find more poison somewhere else? The chemical reagent has been entered into court record. I don't know why I read that. I knew it's been edited. What's the matter, Susato? You're suddenly very quiet. It's this newspaper article. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. I'm wondering how the informant got out, even given that it was a government secret. It was all the Englishwoman's doing. What? It was when the professor and Saseki-san were being interviewed at the laboratory. The so-called English lady swaned in without any compunction, said to Professor Mikitoba. Oh, Professor, surely you guests would love to hear about your work on the substance there. Put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. But Saseki-san's curiosity has been piqued, so I had a little choice but to give him a cursory introduction. So that Saseki-san knew about the poison. Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who is writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too. This Minimomo-san. By the way, did the reporter join you all when you went to the beach? Oh no, I don't remember, but the reporter being there. Indeed, he shouldn't have been. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there. Oh. A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Saseki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office. Yet, he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph. And then presumably he posted it anonymously to the police. Huh. Yes, that must be what happened. Counsel? We've just heard that the new witness is now ready to testify. The trial is about to resume. Please proceed into the courtroom at once. It's time to steel ourselves once again, then. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo. Yes. She has put her faith in me now and told me everything. So I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day. Okay, getting back into the courtroom. 13th August, 11:30 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature, Courtroom 1. I hereby call this court to order. We reconvene to continue the trial of Ray Mambani. Prosecutor Orichi, have you summoned the new witness? Before I address the question, Your Excellency, I have some very important news to share. Oh! What news? Why does he look so happy about it? During the recess with the collaboration of Professor Mikitoba's laboratory at Yume University, the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Giselle Brett's life. Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter. Oh, too kind, Your Excellency, too kind. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course. I had the reagent delivered to police headquarters by rickshaw, so it should be there in good time. But judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable. And counsel, what were the results? This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade. What? Are you sure about that? I would stake the reputation of the police on it. Armed with the reagent, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake. Huh, I wonder if we can take a better look at that. Let's see, court record, here's the blade. Huh. So anything that sticks out, here's the blood. Ah yes, this must be the victim's blood. Oh dear, blood is never a pretty sight, is it? I'm having to fight the urge to run under a hot tap and get it clean. You've always been fastidious about cleanliness, haven't you? I think this is something else, Father. Anything else on this blade? We also have this. Can we take a look at this more? The label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know. It's German, so your knowledge of English is going to be a little help here, I'm afraid. Could Couldn't you have written medicine on it in Japanese? Then we'll all be able to read it. German is the international language of medicine, my dear. But yes, I certainly see the merits of labeling the bottle in Japanese, though I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate. Alright, nothing else I can see there. I can't do any, like, sort of test on that, right? Well, I guess the opportunity will come up soon. In short, the accused's feeble excuse earlier has been utterly destroyed. Now the prosecution is ready to call the new witness. The newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Very well, officer. Bring in the witness. No trace of poison on the knife, but if that's really the case, how could the toxin have entered the victim's body? Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Ray-10 Menemomo of the Shoyu News. I'm what people like to call a journal. What's a journal, Father? Do you know? It's simply a contraction of journalist. I'm there when the news breaks, putting pen to paper to catch those scoops so they're in print in the next morning. They don't call me the hero of the Herald of Nothing, the nice guy of news. Oh, so, it was you who took the photograph, was it? Well, what do we have here? I'm sorry? Oh, brace yourselves, people! Minimum senses a scoop in the offing. Female student up to foul play, defended by curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court. The readers will let this up. We'll set it above the fold at 72 in a 5-leg format for the morning edition. Right then, let's start with your name. Oh, it's Ryutaro Naruhodo. Next, what made you want to become a lawyer? I wanted to inform our country's legal system, I suppose. Ryutaro has suddenly become very ambitious, you see. I just borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while. By the way, my name is Tatsuchi Aoichi. That's Takesuchi Aoichi. The so-called dark horse of the Supreme Court. My objections strike fear into every defense lawyer's heart. He's not interested. No, the readers won't buy that. What? Witness? Yes. What this court demands to know is whether or not you were responsible for taking this picture. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday. Yeah, I wouldn't be a jono if I didn't click quick when presented with a scoop like that now, would I? Sometimes stories call out to me. Sometimes I have to chase them down. But either way, you've got to be fast. Fast leg to run with and fast head to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, I always say. That's what I call the I can't read that. Minimalism. Minimalism. Yeah. Yes, I remember your face. We met that day when you were interviewing myself in Sussex. Yes, that's right. That's me, Minimimo again. But you were supposed to be going back to Shoyu News office after our meeting. The scoop is I didn't. Because the Englishwoman's words had piqued my journalistic interest. Miss Pratt's words? Criminal left to do as she pleases just because she happens to be a British citizen. It's horse dung. This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police's are just imperial pawns. Stay your tongue, young man. These are complex political issues at play. Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down the words she said in my memo pad. Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all right here. Right here goes. I should go with everyone to see the country's coast. A serious criminal going to on some junket that the people need to know about this. That's why I decided to sneak after them. To get the woman's story so I can hammer her in the press. Do you mean to say that you indeed witnessed it firsthand? The grim scene portrayed in this photograph? Oh yes, I saw it with my very own journal eyes. From start to finish through the viewfinder of my trusty camera. Thank you, Minimimo. You will now give a full testimony before the court. You will state exactly what it is that you witnessed of the events surrounding Miss Brett's death. Ooh, finally, it's testimony. The camera never lies. The beach hut was made of shoddy old reeds, so there was plenty of gaps I could see inside. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor as she stabbed her in the back. My smoldering Jorno spirit burst into flames quick as a flash, and I whipped out my camera ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked my lens through for the perfect shot. Read screens, you say? Right, you can see them clearly in the great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds. Yes, it allowed the breeze to pass through and bring some relief for the summer heat. And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up. Knowing for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness everything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut? Oh yes, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish. And you say that you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens? Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reed apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap. Would I get away with it, or would I be seen? It was the gamble of a lifetime. A tenacity of purpose I consider admirable in a journalist, I suppose. Run a risk of one day, run a scoop the next. That's the minimism in a nutshell. At last, it would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I bet we may be close to a verdict. No. Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful. Nevertheless, it cannot be denied. But this testimony begs one very large question. What question? Exclusive news, a startling photograph, and all the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why then was the story never published? Oh, that's right. It seems clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood. More pathetic excuses. Then counsel proceed with the cross-examination. Yes, Your Excellency. There's more to this reporter than meets the eye. He's keeping something about this case very close to his chest. It's time for cross-examination. I know this is going to be a little bit shorter than usual, but I'm going to have to end this part here. So, thank you all so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and until then, I will see you all later. Goodbye.